Hey guys, welcome to another video, and today I'm going to be showing you how to dual boot an OLED Steam Deck. I've seen a lot of tutorials, and some of them show partially or certain pieces on how to do stuff, but I want to put together a full tutorial on how to do everything. Audio, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, all of it on an OLED Steam Deck. So, get straight into it. Let's go. So, to start off, I'm going to be linking these 4 pages in the description, right? Okay, but first thing on the Windows 11 thing, whatever, you want to get the installation media. So, one of the first things you want to do, you want to come down here, you want to get to the Windows 11 installation media. You can go for 10. I just prefer 11. It's easier on all that stuff. But basically, you just want to download it, right? And you should just get this or whatever version you have, the media creation tool. After that, you want to launch it, right? All that stuff, right? You launch it, all that stuff, right? You just want to, it should load up, do its thing, right? Yeah. But after it loads up, you just want to, of course, accept. Should load, do its thing. Okay, it's getting a few things ready. Okay, now this interesting part. You wanna select whatever you want to select. I would just select recommended, whatever. Next, this is important. Select ISO file. Make sure it is an ISO file. Make sure, right? ISO file. Next, and just install it anywhere, right? All that stuff. With that ISO file, you then want to install this other thing, Reviews. I currently have it right here. I have it right here or whatever. You just want to come down here. I will link all this in the description, by the way. You then want to just come down here to the latest releases. On the latest normal, not P, not 86, not ARM 64, the base latest release, get that, right? Get the base version, whatever version is the latest for you. Okay? And then you just want to launch it, right? Launch it, or whatever it should ask. Click yes. Now, select the Windows ISO file that you made, right? And here's the interesting part. One sec. Oh, whoops. Give me a sec. Oh, yeah, I forgot. You want to get your thing here, right, and your adapter. Put it in your adapter, right? Make sure it's in your adapter, and then put it in your laptop. I completely forgot about that. Sorry. There we go. Okay, I already have stuff in it because I already booted mine. I already made mine and all that stuff. But close that. Basically, you want to make sure it's in that, right? Windows ISO, and then make sure here. Make sure you select Windows to Go. Make sure that if you don't select Windows to Go, it won't work correctly. Okay, and then select Start. Select everything you want. You will have to activate Windows after this, so letting you know. Okay, and then make sure none of these are selected. Make sure none of these are selected, and hit OK. I already have mine, everything in there, and it will wipe your thing. So make sure you have nothing on your micro SD. Make sure you have nothing on it. It's gonna wipe it if you click OK. So make sure you clear it out and do everything you need to do. And click OK and it should start doing its thing, right? All that stuff. This is going to take a while. On the Reviews tab, it is going to take quite a while, okay? But then you want to come to this other page here. You've probably seen other people reference this all the time, right? Yeah. SteamDeck Windows Resources. Get the SD card reader driver right here. Get this. Here's where it gets interesting. Make sure you get the LCD version, or that version, right, of the APU driver and the audio drivers, okay? Make sure you get all those, okay? Audio drivers and the APU driver. Make sure you get all those. And then this is where it gets interesting. For Wi-Fi and stuff, I'm going to link this page in the description also. But this is actually the chip that the OLED Steam Deck uses. for Wi-Fi and stuff. So you want to come down here where it says download. If you're doing Windows 10, get this version. If you're doing Windows 11, get this version. Download this, and it should just be this little exe, right? If I go down to my thing here that I have, I select this or whatever. This is all the drivers you should have, right? You see it's the exact same. Just make sure you have it right in there. But as you saw, you want to. This should be all the drivers you get. This should be all the stuff you should have, right? It should be everything you have right here. If some of the stuff isn't showing up, make sure you check in some of the folders. You should see some of these and some of. I think there's one. I think it's the APU driver, where there's 3 of these folders in the one folder when you extract it. Some of these just get all these right, and then just copy all of these right. Make sure you copy it, and then go over to this. Yours is not going to look exactly like mine because I've already installed Windows, all that stuff, right? But you can see I have the things in here or whatever, right? All that stuff. Literally just copy and paste it in the main directory, okay? Main directory, make sure of that. After you have all that done, all the copy and paste, everything done, right? Make sure you hit eject. If you do not eject it, it will not work. Or at least from what I know, it will. I haven't tested it. I don't want to accidentally corrupt my disk if it doesn't work. So just make sure you always click eject, right? Eject. Click eject. Now, take your micro SD card, and you should see on your SteamDeck, there should be a little port down here at the bottom. Micro SD card. Put that in, right side up, okay? Now, this is a very important part. You might want to remember this. This is how you're going to switch between the OS base version and the Windows version that you have here. Hold the minus volume, the lower volume, and the power button until it turns on. There we go. See? It's starting to turn on. Okay. Now, you should only see 2 things on here. I have 4 because I've already set everything up. You should only see the hard drive for that's the device itself, and you should see the SD or MMC. You should see SD/MMC for your whatever or whatever micro SD card you're using, right? And then you want to select it. It should boot up, right? Should boot up. Should do its thing, right? When it boots up, you will not see it in landscape view. You will see it like this. You will see it in portrait view. This is very important to note. When you're in portrait view, you're going to do all the setup things, right? Also, make sure when it gets to the point where select a Wi-Fi thing, because you don't have the Wi-Fi drivers fully installed, there should be a thing down in one of the bottom corners, right? One of the bottom corners that should say something like download or like install Windows via local or thing or whatever, something like that, something across those lines, right? Whenever it does that, whenever it just click that, click install, all that stuff, go through the rest of the processes, right? Also, make sure you do not put a password because you can't type it in without the virtual keyboard app. That's the only bad thing about dual booting Windows on this is you actually need the virtual keyboard app to type anything on here, which you can do in settings. You can check in settings after you load everything up, right? So make sure you do not put a password for your SteamDeck for Windows. But then generally, whenever it loads up, whenever it does this thing, right? It's doing this thing, right? Whatever. Yeah. Oh, basically, after it loads up, right? After it finishes updating, doing Windows, also loading up. I'm just waiting for my thing to load because I had to put it back in, so sometimes it takes a bit to charge everything up, load everything up. There we go. See, it's loading up. You will see yours up and down. I switched mine so I can see mine in landscape. And I want to show you how to do that here in just a second also, after mine fully loads up, so I don't know why it's taking so long. Here we go. So, one of the first things you want to do, right, go into your settings app, okay, it's not that. Make sure you go into your settings app, right, click on System, Display, okay, after you go into Display, you want to come down to where you see scale. Your scale is going to be normally 125. I turn mine down to 100. You can leave yours if you want, but I turn mine down to 100%. Then on the display orientation, you're going to see yours as portrait. Make sure you select that and select landscape. It'll be a lot easier for you and then others, whatever. But whenever you click landscape, right, etc., whenever landscape shows up, do not click flipped. Do not click landscape flipped or it'll be upside down. Select landscape, okay? After that, go down to accessibility. So accessibility, okay, right? And then scroll down until you see keyboard. Select keyboard, go down until you see on-screen keyboard, and then check that box. And an app should open up for the keyboard, right? Also, just a quick control lesson here. This pad here does the mouse. This one here scrolls. L2 is right click and R2 is left click. Okay, right? See? But if you want, on the on-screen keyboard, right click it, and then you can then go. You can pin it to taskbar. I would highly suggest you pin it to taskbar so you can open it up whenever you first launch Windows and don't have to go through into settings, do all that. You can just click it and it'll open up, right? All that stuff, all that fun stuff. But also, then you want to go into your main files, right? Then click on this PC, click on the thing that you chose, or like the little micro SD card. Scroll down until you find that exe file, right? That one exe file that you have, that you installed from the chip website. Click it, right? Click yes. Of course, that loads up. Click OK. Click next. Accept. Next. Make sure you have it select on install, right? Next. Install. See, because I already have it, it's not going to say anything. But basically, then we're going to click finish, right? All that stuff. After you do that, you want to find the folder called, this one right here, called GFX driver. Should have an underscore after it and then a long string of numbers for whatever yours is, right? Make sure you open up that folder and you should see a setup.exe. Double click that and it should start installing drivers and extra stuff, right? Right here. You can see it's installing all that stuff. I'm going to quit out of it because I've already installed it. I already have everything installed for it. But yeah, and you can, when it loads up, you should see multiple options. You can select just leave the default ones, then click install and stuff, right? After that, click here, click the power, and restart your device. And after you restart it, everything should work. You should have Wi-Fi. And audio, you can tell, is still not working, right? That's because you have to plug in a headset. This specific thing, you can't really get drivers, or at least I haven't found out how to get the drivers for the speaker on this. You guys know how? Leave it in the comments below, and I might make a video on how to get the speakers working for this. But currently, just plug in a headset to the port, and it'll just work with the drivers that we installed here. After that, you should have audio, you should have everything else. Everything should work perfectly. But yeah, Windows is very buggy on this, though. Just letting y'all know that now, Windows is very buggy on this. So, yeah, I hope you guys learned something new today. And I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial and video. Thanks for watching. Peace.